We are officially back.
Man.
Episode 44 of the Lookout Podcast.
44.
God, right? Imagine. Look at us.
Oh my God.
Episode 44 of the Lookout Podcast, the season premiere of season 6 of the Lookout Podcast. I am Mills. I am here with the Platinum Chanel boy himself, Jeff.
Yes. Yeah. It's good to be back, man.
And we're back and we're talking Dragon Ball and we're talking, a whole lot of other things. I feel like this has been the longest hiatus between us talking.
Well, we got to tell them why, because I think ultimately in spring you and I were like, oh, Super will be back. Like Super will be back in the summer,
July.
I forget our predictions. We'll have to go back and listen. But,
no, the internet insiders were saying July, definitely July. So
it appeared they weren't even close.
We were waiting for so long, and we're still waiting. I mean, quite honestly, we're still waiting. It's the end of. It's been 1 year since the actual Broly movie came out in Japan.
Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with it. I think so? I do. I think the movie was probably a bit more successful than they had anticipated.
Yeah, but not that movie.
I think they just pushed it. I think they just pushed it for a while. And
that movie's in internet time. That movie was 18 years ago, bro. Like that movie was. I mean, it's been a year since the movie released, but in my brain, it's been like 2 years, 3 years since that I've seen that movie.
It might have gave him some leeway. It might have gave him some leeway to kind of chill out for a minute and get everything right.
I have no idea.
Although I don't want to say the worst thing about it, but because we've been reading the manga, it's like when it does come back, it's gonna take a while. Like it's gonna take a while for everything to get cleared up.
Yeah, I think
if you've been reading, like you already know,
we're gonna be in for a long.
It's gonna be a long saga.
It's gonna be a long saga for sure. With that said, we are back for season 6. Season 6, we are talking about the Saiyan saga of Dragon Ball Z, arguably the most popular by virtue of people actually still remembering and seeing and caring. Yeah. People know. I mean, this is the only arc you're going to see Nappa in, but people remember Nappa forever.
Yeah,
it's the only arc people
bring Nappa back, man. I'm Team Nappa still, man.
Raditz has been only in the series for 5 episodes, but people remember him. Various other things, but actually, you know what? Before we get, I wanted to do that, so just lay it out so you know what it is, even though you know what it is because it's the title of the episode,
right?
But in our interim, we have to do this. What have you been watching, sir?
What have I been watching?
Watching and or reading and or consuming.
Yeah, no, I'm officially all caught up on Demon Slayer, the manga, of course.
Okay.
Waiting for the movie.
All right.
That's super exciting.
Listen, the manga's getting crazy. If you haven't listened to our other new podcast, the Big Eyes podcast,
it's some of the best shit out to me personally.
I agree. Listen to the Big Eyes podcast hosted by Jamal.
Straight up.
It is new on the RNC Radio Network. He's part of the sort of anime nerd family that we got going here with Mount Silver and probably some other stuff that'll come up soon. But listen to that. But it is getting crazy. So
today, I'm gonna check out that Pikachu episode. I haven't seen it yet.
A Pokemon, yes, it is. It's pretty fun. I'll say this in terms of, I think at least for Pokemon. Actually, I don't want to think because honestly, the first episode usually has me thinking one way, and then like 20 episodes into the season, you're like, oh, it's the same shit.
Yeah, I think that's what it will ultimately be like. But this episode is something that I have to check this out.
Well, if people haven't heard, so there's the Pokemon anime. I wouldn't say it's rebooted. It's still the same thing. This is we're in a post Ash winning the championship world, so everything has kind of changed from there.
Is he acting like a real nigga? Is he is his energy different?
Nah, not really. He decided he was leaving the Alola region because he was just like, I mean, there's nowhere. Yeah, I mean, there's nowhere else to go at this point. I've met all the people. I've been to all the islands.
Everybody know me.
Fought off everybody. I've seen everybody. It's time to go. But this new Pokemon anime will take place over several different regions. So you will definitely see the Kanto, the Johto, the Hoenn, the Sinnoh, the Unova, the Kalos, the Alola, and the Galar region that we're just getting into now. So all the regions will be covered. If you're interested in that, It's pretty much Pokemon is still the most basic kind of kid anime that kind of exists right now.
We'll keep dreaming. We'll keep dreaming.
We'll keep dreaming. I have been watching. Okay, so there's a few things I've been watching, and I actually have beef with you for not putting me on this because I heard you put Jamal on this.
What's up?
So, The Promised Neverland.
Oh yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, why didn't Jeff tell me about this?
The Promised Neverland, because
and Jamal told me you told him about it. I was like, wait, why didn't that motherfucker tell me about it?
Well, you know what? I think I had told him around the same time I told you about Demon Slayer. So when you and I were talking about Demon Slayer, that was it.
Okay.
But also, I remember trying to get you into like Tokyo Ghoul, and
I'm gonna get there.
Neverland it's fairly like that first episode. It's fairly like it's intense.
Yes, it's very intense.
And I wasn't sure. I was like, I don't know how Mill's gonna take this. It's really good though. It's beautiful. It's a really pretty anime.
The Promised Neverland.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. You know what? The weird thing about it. So boom. My friend Jason, shout out to Jason. Jason, he was like, we were pretty much going, I like to, at least this point, especially considering now we do the show and all this other stuff like that, I like to go and ask people, like, yo, what anime should I watch? And I've gotten a ton of various different responses from a ton of various different people.
Yeah.
My homeboy Jason, who's like my Pokemon Go bestie.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, well, he gave me a couple of things, and he was like, why haven't you watched this? And one of them was Attack on Titans, and he was like, why haven't you watched Attack on Titans? I was like, I don't know. I thought it was Teen Titan.
Right. And I'm not a huge Attack on. I'm not crazy about it personally.
Okay.
But the hardcore fans are hardcore.
Gotcha.
About the show.
He then told me, he was like, listen, because I think what we were talking about? We're talking about Demon Slayer because we're both like in love. Like we just are. I know he's mad.
I can't even I can't stop my passion for it. It's so bad.
I know because I put him onto the anime. So he's watching the anime. And then now he's like, okay, I caught up with the manga. So now he's mad at me because he's like, why the fuck did you put me onto this? Because now I have to wait every week for a new episode instead of binging it toward the end like he normally likes to do. He's a binger. He's a millennial. All of the Gen X, I think. Is he Gen Z? I don't know. He's 20-some years old. With that said, he was like, oh, you're gonna like this. It's like the psychological thriller type of deal. It's like a thriller anime. I was like, thriller anime? I'd never heard of that genre.
Yeah.
But he was like, listen, The Promised Neverland, and you know what? I trust him. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna use this as a sort of basis. I've gotten recommended animes that I didn't like before, and it kind of throws
happens.
Yeah, it is what it is. So I decided, okay, let me take a listen to this. Or at least take a read of this. So I read the manga before I even knew that. I just decided to Google one day. I was like, let me see if this is an actual anime. And turns out it actually was. I was like, oh shit.
Actually, that's how I got on it. I saw it visually first, like through Twitter or something. Like I was, just in a hole. Yeah. And I saw it and I was like, damn, like the character designs are sick.
Yeah, I agree. And I think just each episode kind of building anticipation for the next, and it even happens in the manga too. Like I feel like in the manga you don't get the sense of like, damn, this was a waste of an episode. Like everything kind of builds to the next thing. It's a thriller. It's building.
But you get into it very quick as soon as you see dead children.
Yes.
And then you're like, oh, okay.
And demons,
get it. Of course. Demons and dead kids. So
demons is just the automatic go-to for any sort of thing. But I've enjoyed it thus far. I like watching it. I like reading it. It's one of the mangas I kind of keep up with from week to week. And Demon Slayer. I've recently started Dr. Stone.
I remember you texted me about Dr. Stone. I told you it's not my I get why it's people are into it.
I still don't get it,
but it's not.
But I do, but I don't. The main problem is that they haven't established. I think they're establishing from at least where I'm up to thus far, they're kind of establishing villains on the go, as opposed to the villain being whatever turned everyone into stone.
Which is different. Yeah.
It's different. I mean, yeah, it's very different. It's very educational. I'm learning so much about science and all the other shit. Don't mind my radiator going off in the background.
Cool.
But
things happen.
I'm learning so much about science and other stuff, but I'm like, also, do I want to learn about science? So that's my thing with Dr.
That would have
Stone.
been awesome. If that would have came out when we were in high school, that shit would have been sick.
Yeah, it would have been amazing. That's how I felt about Futurama. I was like, Futurama's a smart ass show.
Yeah.
Like low key. But Dr. Stone, I'm like, nah, I'm too old for this. I'm done learning. I've finished school. Like, but nonetheless, I've been watching and reading that kind of. What else? I've been recommended Fire Force.
Yeah, Fire Force is really good.
I've been recommended. God, what else have I been recommended? They told me to read. The kids. They told me, and I say that because I'm old, and everyone else that I've talked to about anime besides you isn't. Yeah, they said Naruto. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. To be honest with you.
Naruto, shows like Naruto and One Piece. One Piece is definitely out the question.
Yes.
Because there's like,
I feel like I can't get into it. Like,
it's like 900. It's like I'm not. There's no way. There's just no way.
I've been told Black Clover. What else have I been told?
Black Clover's good. You still need to watch Parasite.
I'm going to watch Parasite.
It's so good.
I'm going to watch Parasite. I'm going to do that because the holidays are coming up and I will have more time.
Yeah, Parasite is insane.
Hopefully, I'll have at least a week off, maybe even a week and a half off of doing podcasts of various forms. So I will be using that. I mean, the winter season is when I got on Full Metal Alchemist and really just binged the shit out of that. So
yeah.
I'm kind of looking forward to doing this as well. But yeah, that's what I've been watching. If you guys have any recommendations of stuff that we should be watching, and maybe even talking about just a little bit, just let us know. You can, I'm at Mills TV on Twitter. Jeff is at Old Newsboy. The account is RNC Radio Live on Twitter.
Yep.
And you can follow this up. You know what? I'm kind of, now that you're doing this, I'm kind of mad that I buried the lead here because we have new developments coming with our podcast. Coming pretty soon. So if you were a fan of merchandise and you were a fan of the merchandise that we dropped last year, well, guess what? We have new. Yeah. We have new. This has been a long time coming. This has been a very stressful couple of months for myself and everyone involved and things like that in terms of this. But
they got done though.
They got done though. So we have new merch coming. Is the Lookout Capsule Collection Part 2. It will be dropping on Friday. This Friday. Black Friday. Could it potentially show up earlier? I don't know. This Friday it'll definitely be there.
Friday's gonna be sick for me too because I got personal. I'm cashing out on Friday.
I mean,
I haven't enjoyed a Black Friday in a few years.
I haven't either, but
there's things that I want to do though.
There's things. I mean, I'm glad we all have dreams.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't. But with that said, this is a special announcement. We have new merch coming this Friday. I think all of you will people enjoy it. It's it's a couple pieces. They're great photos. Shout out to the model Jamal.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to his beau, photographer.
She's dope.
Alexis, who took all the photos of this, and it turned out really, really good. And I'm so happy with it because this has been a few months of stress. We've been working on this for such a long time. You don't even know. This isn't something that just came out the blue. I legitimately learned, okay,
it's been a lot. Yeah,
this is what people go through.
Been in the books.
This is what people go through. This is what people do, nonetheless. It'll be dropping this Friday, so make sure you stay tuned. Everything will be on the Twitter as soon as this episode comes out, so you won't even need to probably reach this part. But it is, everything drops this Friday, so stay tuned. rntradio.bigcartel.com. Let's get into the episode, or the arc, whatever. The Saiyan arc.
Yeah, one of my favorite times.
This is the first. I mean, your first is always, memorable, isn't it?
Yeah. You can say that.
The Saiyan saga It was the initial, the shift from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z, kind of a change in tone, kind of a change in perspective, kind of a change in sort of everything that you know about the Dragon Ball and the nice little cute martial arts adventure anime that you thought.
Yeah.
And now it has evolved into this multi-world, potentially universal wide.
The stakes change.
So bigger, so much more grand, so much everything is, and it really just starts here. The series initially debuted in Japan April 26, 1989. That is 20 years. 30 years.
Right before us.
That is 30, yeah. That was 30 years from 30 years ago.
Don't remind me.
But it debuted in America on September 13th, 1996. Do you remember watching this? Apparently it debuted as part of Saban's television block. No, I don't. I don't
remember. Yeah.
I know I started watching it when it was on Toonami.
Yeah, 100%.
But it debuted. There's apparently 2 dubs of this, or at least multiple dubs. I don't even want to say 2. I don't completely have a hold on this. There's the Saban dub, which is essentially the one that debuted. It was, I think, a part of, I guess, Fox. I guess so, like part of their sort of anime cartoon.
I definitely don't remember Dragon Ball being on Fox.
I remember it being on, I can't even say because it's a local channel. I remember it being on channel 11, which is the most, like, I guess it would be the CW now.
Mm-hmm.
After it absorbed UPN.
WB, UPN.
Yeah, the WB. There we go.
WB Kids.
Yes. I remember it there. Kind of. But that was after I saw it on Toonami.
Right. Yeah. Toonami is, I mean, most people are going to remember it from Toonami. Our age, at least.
100%. So, boom. It debuts there. Not immediately a worldwide phenomenon, but when it when it eventually jumps on Toonami and it becomes part of their anime block after school. I mean, it's crazy. The kids don't have after school cartoons that much anymore, like an actual dedicated.
They have too many options, man. The options are crazy.
Phone, Switch,
streaming,
all types of shit.
Yeah.
Disney Plus, all the types of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But once it debuted there, it just kind of grew from there, and it all started with the Saiyan saga. Let's talk about the first episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
The bridge. I call this episode kind of like a bridge between Dragon Ball and whatever is there.
It is,
because it kind of has the same sort of genuine feel of Dragon Ball in terms of just like this little kid Gohan on an adventure, getting into trouble, and his dad has to save him. And then also new big evil lurking in the background. What did you feel about the first episode? Just watching. I don't think I've watched it in so long.
Well, now thinking about it is crazy because a lot of the Gohan foreshadowing begins, which is awesome to really, really think about. When we get into what actually happened. I think it's like 5 years, 6 years.
5 years. It's 5 years.
But it's nice, man. Goku older, you got his son. We get to see Gohan.
Here's the thing. I haven't seen this in so long. I haven't watched the first new episode, and apparently, I mean, there's different versions of the first few episodes, but roughly the same thing happens. But I haven't watched this in so long because when Dragon Ball Kai came out, I just became used to kind of that, and not the sort of, I would use that as sort of a basis, because when we do our anime things, we go off of the original set of episodes.
Yeah.
That means there will be this isn't a Kai thing. We're legitimately going to go over all those episodes where the man is running on the snake. But we, it was interesting kind of seeing it, because I've always thought, or at least in my mind, it doesn't start till episode 2, I guess. Because my mind was Raditz shows up and he kicks down the door immediately.
Yeah, that's how we. I think a lot of us see it like that.
And I didn't remember the tiger. I didn't remember Gohan. I don't remember none of the stuff that actually happened. But the first episode kind of caps off with Piccolo. Yeah, and it caps off with Piccolo meeting Raditz for the first time, and he's kind of like the first line of defense for the planet Earth, and it's weird, and all of this is kind of weird moving forward. Let's talk about Well, actually, beyond the foreshadowing of Gohan, let's talk about Raditz for a second, because this is the only time in
Yeah, we don't
this
get a lot of Raditz.
you don't get a lot of Raditz.
Not as much as I feel like we deserved.
I feel like he is the most basic of the. I don't want to say basic of the villains, because that sounds like a very like terrible term, but he is legitimately like, there doesn't seem to be any much dimension, even though we aren't given the time to sort of establish any dimension or anything.
But I feel like his character could have really been built properly if they just wanted to.
I think, you know what I think if they did with Raditz,
because he still had this, like, I mean, at the end of the day, his Saiyan pride, I feel like it was similar to Vegeta's,
right?
But we just didn't get to see it. I mean, at the end of the day, he was trying to get Goku to be like, "Yo, what the fuck you doing, bro? Who sent you here to handle some business, not make a family?" Nigga.
All right, there's several questions I have about that.
I mean, I know, no, it's definitely broken. It's definitely broken, but like,
there's a major break in this plot that I'm just like, wait, what now? Wait, first of all, several different things in terms of just the Raditz, the character itself. I feel like no, there's definitely his potential, and I felt like if they kept him, chances are, and here's what I'll say: I think chances are he would not have turned good like Vegeta, and I think he would have been forever maybe kind of the evil Saiyan.
I would have been okay with that.
Because let's compare this to wrestling. Everything is wrestling. Sure. Seth
Great
Rollins.
Show last night, dude.
I agree. Seth Rollins, the guy you'd least suspect in turning on everyone on the Shield.
Yeah.
Because Roman Reigns was the big guy. He was the one attention. Dean Ambrose was the lunatic, but Seth Rollins was kind of like the sensible, level-headed one, perceived as not the strongest in the group, but not the weakest, but wasn't perceived first. I could easily see Raditz. Yeah, I could easily see Raditz slotted into that sort of thing where he eventually turns on Vegeta, considering he's the weakest, and probably considering how much Nappa shitted on. I can't imagine how much they shit on Raditz. Actually, they do, because Nappa's first line.
Yeah, they do shit on Raditz. Dude.
Nappa's first line is essentially like Raditz sucks. We're like,
and it's like, but that's cool though when we go back and we look at the movie we just watched, right? And we kind of see the dynamic on their planet. Mm-hmm. And now when we go back, we say, well, I see kind of how they looked upon other Saiyans that properly.
My broken thing in this entire arc concerning this entire thing is Goku's motivation for coming to Earth, which is now transformed into a different thing. And it's possible there's a link between it of like Bardock off camera reaching out to Raditz and saying like, we sent him to Earth to, take over another planet, maybe.
Right.
And, just to kind of spare him from worrying about the genocide of Frieza and potentially starting an uprising that he can't go, because kids are kids. Kids will jump in. Yeah, kids will, kind of leap into any sort of situation without thinking, without the proper, things.
Yeah, we're not thinking about that type of shit, man. Shit just looks awesome.
Right. So that's in terms of just like, we sent you to Earth to take over. Maybe there's a link there, considering the new movie and the old movie and why that happened. Because in the movie, we see that Goku sent to Earth because Bardock wants to save him from the eventual genocide that Frieza has on the Saiyan race. Right. And Raditz, Vegeta, and Nappa are the only three Saiyans that we know thus far who are not on the planet when it is blown up by Frieza. I don't know, just the whole, like, you were sent here to destroy it. Why haven't you done that? We're over here destroying various planets. Like,
you're chilling, making kids.
Yeah, or something along those lines. Like, it's just a little bit of a... And I'm not going to blame it, because this is it was a long time ago. Yeah, and it was like it's like retroactively like messing it up now. Like, it's like we did this movie and maybe they didn't think all the way things through. And now,
they try to fix it. They try to fix it with the movie.
He introduces himself to Piccolo, who is by far, if you watch Dragon Ball, which most people in America hadn't, was the strongest person on Earth, one of the strongest people on Earth, and then immediately like says, "Nah, you're not. Now I am." So
Saiyans, man, they fucked up everything.
Let's talk about Saiyans a little bit. Well,
let's talk about Saiyans, dude. I mean, it's fine. They're just. They're all OP ultimately.
I'll say this
depends on the time frame of like what changes and who gets stronger or who dies, but they're all extremely strong and kind of like not destroy, but they just make a lot of other of the Z warriors meaningless.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, once they establish that the world is bigger than the Earth, which they do in the Saiyan Saga, and they do it quite immediately, a lot of things are kind of like thrown to the wayside, especially Krillin, which is immediately thrown to the wayside, literally and figuratively. And all the other Z warriors as well. In terms of just the closing on Raditz, he's kind of like the most, he's the starter villain. He's the starter backup villain. He is the starter.
He's a dickhead, though.
Yeah, he is 100%. He is
once he realizes what the fuck his brother's been doing, he's like, yo, man,
kidnaps his nephew, locks him in a pod, which is just a terrible thing to do. Tries to kill his brother, tries to kill his brother's friends. And then before he goes, he pretty much manages to let his other comrades know that about everything that's going on Earth. So I guess he isn't a complete waste of a villain, but he's immediately, yeah. I guess. And he did his job in also establishing, like, he was the person who was kind of the conduit for establishing that the Dragon Ball world is bigger than Earth, and kind of explaining why Goku is such. It explains it puts everything that happened in Dragon Ball into context, right? From the tale that wasn't explained, from the tale that wasn't explained, from the power, the incredibly strong power that wasn't explained, to the Uzaru thing that wasn't explained. Everything that wasn't explained in Dragon Ball is eventually explained in Dragon Ball Z. And you know what? Fair. I'll say Raditz, a pioneer. Potentially.
Raditz is very important. I think they definitely used him just to, like you said, put that base down for what you're about to deal with through Dragon Ball Z throughout the whole thing. And I guess he didn't survive very long ultimately, but the importance was it's really flawless, just considering everything that we ended up getting from that information. Of course, they always land and then tell all their plans and go through their life stories real quick.
Right. We learned that Goku is a Saiyan from an alien planet called Planet Vegeta, not from Earth. Was born as a warrior race. They give the whole little backstory. It's actually a nice little backstory type of deal.
It is.
It's a nice little flashback, nice little we conquer planets and sell them, and et cetera, et cetera. It's crazy considering that he holds all of this knowledge and this pride for saying things, even though the Saiyans are practically extinct. So kind of all of this is like, they haven't yet mentioned Frieza or anything of the rather. But he still holds all this knowledge, like, hey, we're Saiyans, we go off to different planets, etc. They haven't acknowledged that they're working for Frieza either. So, but I think it's because they were already like,
they don't even fuck with Frieza like
that. Yeah, like, yo, F this.
Not really. Yeah. So
I'm pretty sure Frieza didn't tell me to go to Earth.
Yeah, we doing this shit.
So they find Raditz essentially finds Goku by using the scouters, to pretty much recruit him and say, like, yo, we need to go. Like, you've been on this planet too long. We have a planet we want to take over, but 3 ain't enough, so we need you. And I remembered I had a brother at some point.
So I was like, you know what, let me go pull up on this guy, see what he's doing on Earth. He didn't think about like what he's been doing for 20 years, 18 years.
I don't know. Like, I don't even know if he knew. I think he probably
didn't wake up one day and been like, damn, where Kakarot is.
Yeah, or
what's he doing? Has he not taken over that planet yet?
But I feel like even in the movie, he's kind of like the Broly movie. He's kind of like estranged to like Goku, right?
Yeah,
like he's kind of like my weakling brother.
This is true.
My weakling brother,
But shit, I'm saying if the intentions were to send him to do something, wouldn't they be looking for some type of like
for a follow up?
Yeah, like a text message, like email or something. They get like, let me know.
It's like damn, we sent you with a scouter and the whole thing, and
we ain't heard from you in 18 years.
We learn about Goku's. I don't know if we learn about whatever established in Dragon Ball, this like head trauma thing, where it's like
what, like how he forgot.
Yeah, Goku. Did you hit your head as a child? And he's all like, I did hit my head. Like, I did hit my head.
Oh yeah.
And then Roshi's like, yes, you did hit your head. And here was the story. Like, you were
how did you
rambunctious.
forget? So how did you forget where you're from, but you also forget you bumped your head? Like, but you remember you bumped your head and forgot everything in the process of like.
He must have just remembered the pain. I don't know. He was giving Grandpa Gohan a life of a living hell until he fell from somewhere, as kids do. Kids just bumped his head, got amnesia, woke up, and then he was Goku. Which is kind of, forgot his name, forgot everything, but, he's Goku now, and became the savior of the planet Earth. Let's see, what do I have on the notes here? I don't know. I mean, it's good that he's a Saiyan. It's good that we learned that he's an alien. It kind of explains a lot, like I said.
If you watch Dragon Ball, everything kind of gets summed up right then and there.
Yeah, pretty much. Within the first 12 minutes of the second episode.
All the mystery that Krillin and Bulma were trying to figure out why this kid is incredible.
He's like, you haven't looked at the full moon ever? Like... And he's like, I don't remember. And everyone's like, yo, we remember that because that was crazy. Yeah. With this said, it's a very monumental. I don't want to downplay it too much. This is very monumental for all of Dragon Ball Z. That Goku learns that he is a Saiyan and he is not like the rest of these people, because the rest of these people just don't live up to much of anything after this. Let's see. So in this entire ordeal, Raditz is like, you need to destroy things on Earth or you're not going to get your son back. And he kidnaps Gohan.
Ultimately, hey, start killing these niggas. Start destroying this planet. And then I'll give you your seed back.
Yeah. And then you need to come with us because you're done here on this planet. Yeah. And then we're going to come back and then we're going to take over this planet because it's nice here. Like, the skies are blue. The food's good. I killed a pig. All this other stuff, all this other vermin shit. So he does that, and then we find out he takes away Gohan. Actually, he hurts Goku and then takes away Gohan. Can't forget that. And then Piccolo shows up. Piccolo, who apparently hasn't been seen by them in 5 years.
He's just been. Who knows what he's been up to?
He's been training apparently, but. Here's one of the questions that I have here. The relationship.
Something that threw you off?
Odie threw me off. The relationship between Goku and Piccolo after 5 years. I don't know if it's a time thing.
Yeah.
I guess is it a time thing? Could you count it as a time thing of like maybe
I feel like
maybe feelings have subsided, the intense feelings have subsided over Goku killing his father.
Well, and also it's like, I don't know. Goku. I feel like maybe Goku didn't even. It was just whatever in general.
I don't blame Goku. Goku's unassuming.
No, exactly.
Goku's unassuming. Goku trusts anybody if they have similar to any intentions that may be in the orbit of his. Piccolo is the one I'm questioning.
So I'm okay.
Piccolo is the one I'm questioning. Piccolo's like, because they seem really amicable for being two mortal enemies, and like amicable off the bat, like flying with each other, cracking jokes. I bet I can fly faster than that cloud you're on.
Like it hasn't been 5 years or something. Like they've been keeping up through like Twitter or like different ways. You know what I mean? It's like, you guys should not be this close.
Like, Piccolo's only motivation for fighting Raditz is revenge, but still it doesn't warrant how like friendly they are. Not like friendly, but like
you're right.
How there isn't enough of like angst and intensity. If it's Goku and Vegeta, Vegeta still to this day does not want to fight alongside Goku.
Yeah.
Because
but they've built that relationship up to the point where there's still things about it that respect because it took so long to get there.
Yeah.
The Piccolo shit was just overnight.
It was. I mean, I don't know what they've been doing over the last 5. Maybe there's a series. Maybe there's a series of the 5 years between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Nah, probably not. Let's see.
I wouldn't mind seeing those 5 years though.
Give me like 10 episodes.
Yeah, like a little sub series. I'm okay with that.
Sub series, little peel off action. various different things. Let's see. I hate his friends. I hate Goku's friends because none of them decided maybe we should go with this guy who attempted to kill Goku many years ago. Maybe we should make sure that he's okay. Like, maybe we should escort him. It was like, nah, let's just, Goku and Piccolo are just going to fly off themselves. And I'm just like, bro.
I feel like sometimes they'd be at the house, you know, and they'd just be like, you know, if we pull up, man, we're not going to survive this. Let's just chill out. You know what I mean? Because like, let's just chill out today because I don't think we're going to survive this if we do.
But what if he kills Goku? Would you regret, as a friend, letting him go with the man who tried to kill him 5 years ago? Is there nothing they can do?
There's nothing they can do, man.
Interesting.
I mean, even the Piccolo situation was, I mean, he got lucky.
I don't respect it. I don't respect it at all.
No, I definitely don't respect it. But you know, they wasn't pulling up to that, man. we see that. We see that even throughout the series. Like, there's no point for me to come. Cell's too strong. It's like, like, you don't even want to try.
Well, I give it to Tien and Yamcha pulled up. It was like, yo, we're not entering the tournament, but we here just in case. Which is funny.
Like, it's really funny to think. Yeah, it's really funny to think about.
Let's see what we got going on here. So let's get to the fight. So it's the Unlikely Alliance episode between Goku and Vegeta. Sorry. Goku and Piccolo, because Goku and Vegeta just rolls off the tongue right now.
Yeah.
Goku and Piccolo going up against Raditz. Now, first of all, before they even show up, Raditz discovers like, yo, this kid has amazing power level.
Mm-hmm. He gets scared a little bit.
He's like, yo, this guy isn't supposed to be this strong. He's like 5 years old. He was crying on the way here. Piccolo pulls up. Goku pulls up. They take off their rated armor, which I think this is the last time you're going to see Goku fighting without shoes on.
Yeah. They never. I think somebody at the studio was like, let's not do that again because it just didn't. There's no point.
It's not hitting no more.
These boots are too heavy. Let me turn up
quicker. Yeah, this will make it quicker type of deal.
Because I feel like they realize if we continue that, it's going to be something we got to continue to do. They can't stop.
Have to put on heavier clothing.
Yeah. Like it would be something attached to the series probably for a long time. So they're like, you know what, we can't.
Listen,
we don't need to be fighting barefoot.
The RIP to the weighted clothing era.
Yeah, that's over. Piccolo used to throw his shit off all the time, which I don't mind Piccolo's situation. You know, like that made sense to me.
But Goku taking off 5 articles of clothing,
no,
to increase his strength.
Shoes. You're already a Saiyan, dude.
Wristbands, undershirt.
Not to mention, you know, Saiyans. When they pull up, they already have a shitload of armor on.
Yeah, I mean their armor is apparently light, and like I don't know what I don't know what Nike technology that is, but it's light. Have
their own Boma up there,
manageable. I'm pretty sure good ventilation. I don't know. Piccolo and Goku versus Raditz. Not a long fight, but not. I mean,
not a bad fight.
I don't know what I thought about this fight beforehand. Maybe I just didn't think about it because in the grand scheme of how things escalate, like this isn't a notable fight. Mm-hmm. This is notable by virtue of like, it's notable within the arc because of the result of what happened.
Right.
But in terms of just being notable as a fight, I mean, you have so many huge fights and the thing, it just evolves throughout Z through the choreography and the animation and the moves and everything that's kind of established, intensity, the stories, all these other things. Like you kind of forget this is a fight, but this 2-on-1, Raditz is clearly stronger than both of them. He's outmatching them. He shoots blast. He manages to knock Piccolo's arm off, and somehow Goku's arm is completely fine. In this, he just evades it. It is what it is. But I like the fight. I like the fight thus far.
Yeah, it was a good fight.
It was entertaining. Goku has a plan to grab Raditz's tail. That is the only plan they're going in with. No other plan. And Piccolo's is. Well, essentially, Goku's plan is like, okay, let me stall him until Piccolo charges up this move. Now, let's have a conversation.
This move that he just had to trust. He just had to trust it.
Let's have a conversation about the special beam cannon.
Sure.
Where would you It's a strong move. I'll give it that.
Yeah. It's one of the. It's a cool move. I feel like they put
It seems like a guarantee you're getting a hole in whatever appendage.
Right, but they put it in. They gave it that stigma early though, that it takes a long time, kind of like like a spirit bomb type situation.
Right, and as fights evolve through the series, you realize you don't got time to charge up that.
yeah, we don't need that shit, man. And Cell did it in like 2 seconds. Not
right, and he kind of he learns that. I mean, as in Super, I think once you get to the other world tournament, he kind of learns that, and he kind of charges it while moving.
Yeah, which is kind of still weird to me, though.
Yeah,
they find a way to, finesse it by saying now you're just moving around doing it, but it's still
but you still have no kind of defense. Like you're using your arm to think. You don't really have a defense now. You're just evading. I don't know. This is one of the least accurate moves I think they've ever established in Dragon Ball.
Agreed.
And it's not worth the time. It's not worth the energy. It's not worth
a straight shot. You can't really do anything with it.
You can't change the trajectory.
If you miss, you're screwed and you're exhausted.
Well, he missed and he was screwed and exhausted in that order. The only kind of saving light that comes is that Goku manages to grab the tail of Raditz. He manages to floor him down. But then, of course, Goku, who hears Raditz pretty much saying like, "No, I'm going to be better, and I'm going to do better," and all this other stuff. And Goku's like, "If you just let go of my tail, like we can work this out." And Piccolo's like, "Are you insane? Like, there's veins in Piccolo's heads from like, are you kidding me? He's trying to kill us." Goku lets go and gets floored immediately because he's an idiot. Which then prompts
normal Goku. Normal Goku shit, yeah.
Which then prompts the true highlight of this entire arc, I would say. Gohan's power.
And once again, things you see it, you don't know anything about it, and the fact that we saw the climax of it so far from that period is still ridiculous. That's why this episode is important.
Yes, we learn about
the arc in general.
I think you're right, because they do a great job, at least throughout Z. I mean, great job is subjective at this point, because even in the new manga, the man is getting owned. Yeah. But they do a good job in we're establishing that this kid is very, very strong alongside Goku. Goku's still the hero, but we're also establishing this kid potentially have a power that in the long run could become useful, and he could become the new savior of Earth, because he's smarter, stronger, and has way more potential. And potential is the key word than Goku has. So let's work on that as we go through. Gohan pretty much headbutts a good old skull bash to Raditz's chest, that manages to send Raditz off a little bit. Goku manages to grab Raditz and kind of what is it? A full Nelson, maybe an anime full Nelson.
Yeah, it wasn't. Taz would have been very disappointed.
It was weird because I'm just like, aren't you stronger than him though? I guess it's because of the it establishes
awkward.
That hit that took a lot out of me, and it's it weakened me, and I was like, damn, that's crazy, because he can barely get his arms around your armor. Much
right. How is he holding you back right now?
Your feet. You're you got to be 8-9 inches on him, and maybe 100 pounds or so.
My man Mills doing the measurements. He's like, hold on, this ain't adding up, nigga.
None of it add up. I'm just this is some good wrestling right here.
Yeah.
So the plan is Piccolo's yo, you're gonna die if I hit this thing, right? Because it's this is one hitter quitter. He charges it up. His veins are doing that little thing that it does. I don't like it. It's nasty.
Yeah, weird.
Very vascular.
It's very weird. Very weird.
And he shoots the special.
I feel like that's all Piccolo was doing this past 5 years.
Oh yeah, training the
Like I feel
special
like he was
beam
just,
cannon.
yeah, that was it. Like that was all he was doing.
That would take 5 years, wouldn't it? Instead of like all the other cool techniques that he had, that when I watched Dragon Ball all after the fact, I was like, yo, this guy was cool. What happened? He can grow tall. He can shoot things out of his eyes and his mouth, and I think his feet.
His limbs extend.
He can regenerate. All these are cooler.
Piccolo is, if they made Piccolo any stronger than what he needed to be, we wouldn't have the series. Just off how he is, like,
right,
physically.
100%.
So it's best they left it like that.
He launches the special beam cannon as Goku's holding Raditz. It goes through Raditz, then it goes through Goku, and both of them are out. And depending on where you watch this, it was either a bloody, gory mess or kind of just like both of them kind of floating in the air. Right. It just with black stuff coming out their chest. Oh yeah, I got the bloody version. Okay, nice.
The bloody version is really good.
Because I like it because the blood comes out of like Raditz's
you can like see it.
He's like, yo, this was terrible. And that is it. So Piccolo manages to kill Raditz and he kills Goku. A double win. A double whammy, as I say. This is clearly the peak moment of Piccolo in the entire series. It just is.
That's it.
It is.
I would say, let me think. Did he have any bigger moments than this?
When he showed up to fight Frieza, that was
when he showed up to take on. He's the first one who saw Cell as well.
Yes. Oh, when he showed up to fight Cell too, that was cool
too.
Yeah,
that was cool.
But ultimately, none of those had those.
Yeah, it didn't matter. It didn't go well, so I guess it doesn't matter.
What is it? Other Piccolo moments. I think we did a list of our best. No, it was best Piccolo fights. I was going to say on our IG we did best Piccolo moments.
Piccolo guy like that. So,
but good for Piccolo. We kind of establish. You do a good job in saying like, yo, he's still strong even after Dragon Ball. He manages to kill Goku and Raditz. And he's showing a little bit of signs that he may not be as evil and world domination, lusting as he was before. So I think, in terms of just how this worked out for Piccolo, it was good. R.I.P. Raditz, who lived 100% from episode 1 through episode 4, of a 293 episode.
If you still enjoy Raditz, there's a lot of fan art out there. Maybe you can see him as a Super Saiyan.
I'm sure he would want one day to see himself as a Super Saiyan.
Now, could Raditz be wished back? Technically, you want to talk about this guy's body?
Talk about it.
Where's his body?
All right. So
was he buried?
I don't know. All right. So
I feel like Goku is one of them guys too. Like,
Goku.
This was my brother.
No, Goku, his was different because Goku kind of like faded away, which didn't make any sense to me until they kind of established it was like, oh, Kami did that because Kami just notices dead bodies and take them. But in terms of Raditz, he was kind of there longer, especially considering they take the scouter from him, from his dead.
They took stuff off his corpse.
Yeah, they already took the scouter off of him and just like, oh man, he has a tail. Look at that, or all this other stuff like that. So I don't know what they actually do with the body. Unless it just completely decomposed. Maybe because they certainly take away when Tien, Yamcha, and Chaozu die. Well, I don't know about Chaozu. Sorry. Oof. Too soon. They take away the bodies and they like lock them up in these like pod thingies. But then it ends up not mattering because when they wish them back, they kind of just show up out of nowhere. Show up.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess the mystery will remain.
The inconsistencies of Toriyama. I'll say that.
Yeah,
he was right now on the go. He
had a lot on his plate at that point.
He was right now on the go. I'm pretty sure he didn't see Yamcha getting wished back. Let's do the epilogue. So Raditz's scouter is a transmitter. It's not. It just doesn't tell power levels. It also people can listen to stuff on the other side of it.
On the other side of the universe.
On the other side of the universe, it's got range. Major range. So both his Saiyan comrades have learned about the Dragon Balls and everything that happens from Raditz dying to everything. So from listening to it as they're on this other planet where they're eating like beetles and like giant things and etc. like that. Let's see. Nappa's first line is Raditz stinks.
He's like, hold on, that nigga got murked.
How did he get murked by those people on the puny planets? All right, so I know this is one of your favorite moments. I know it because of Off-White Vegeta.
Why? I'm about to say, hey man, I love this Vegeta
Because of Travis Cactus Jack.
Yeah,
Vegeta.
they should have kept him like this, man.
Do you know why they put him like this?
I feel like I read it before, but what was the reason?
The reason was because as they were designing it, Toriyama didn't tell the designers how he wanted them to look. So
they were like, you know what?
On their own.
He would have been. I just feel like didn't
and
it look,
then
did
they
it not
changed
look cool?
it later.
Did it not look cool to you? I thought it was a cool look.
I think Nappa looks cooler.
I love the brown hair.
You call it? I think it's brown. I feel like it's red. I don't know. It's weird.
I call it. It's weird.
It's weird, but it's so like. I don't know if they sell toys of this or Funko Pops.
No, I think there's a Funko. There is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it's got to be one of the rarest Funkos because at this point, this only lasts about 16 episodes or so, maybe 20 some episodes.
The scene where he's like eating an alien.
Yes,
that's like the one right there. Like, and he's got like the orange armor.
No, let me tell you this. He's eating an alien. He's sitting on the other aliens while eating the alien.
While eating it, yes. So just extremely disrespectful.
We learn about several things during this conversation. One, Vegeta and Nappa's motivation. They clearly are kind of rogue. And we don't know about Frieza or any of their actual plans to this point. So we don't know any of that stuff. But they're clearly rogue. And saying like, listen, if we get the Dragon Balls, we can become immortal, and then none of this will matter. We'll become the strongest people in the universe. You kind of establish Vegeta's lust for power and, for immortality and all the other stuff like that. And then you hear the first mention of Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
Just 2 episodes after you learned of actual Saiyan. Yeah. You learn that there is a Super Saiyan, and it's you learn a couple more things. What did you think just of this exchange?
Considering we weren't nowhere close to seeing it. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's classic anime shit. Talking about something that you're not going to see for 2 years.
They talk about it quite frequently. I'm not sure if they even knew what they were actually going to do with Super Saiyans at this point.
They just knew it would be a part of it. At a time.
I think they knew that they eventually wanted to do, the legendary over Super Saiyan, and maybe that becomes a thing, and then maybe someone achieves it. I don't know if they were going, thought about, marketing and all this other stuff like this.
Yeah.
But they definitely talked about it. So episode 5, Dragon Ball Z, first time you hear Super Saiyans, it won't be the last because Vegeta talks about it legitimately every
he becomes obsessed with it.
Waking moment. He thinks he achieves it.
That helps. Yeah, he does think he achieved it at some point, which there was like no change in anything. So like I'm like, all right, well, but at that point they don't really know what it looks like, do they?
No.
Yeah, no. So he's just assuming by how he feels mentally and power wise that he's there.
Which is a mood.
Yeah, I respect it.
So Goku dies completely. Fast forward, Piccolo seizes / kidnaps Gohan to train him because we learn that the Saiyans are coming in 1 year and they will be back to either get the Dragon Balls or destroy Earth and or both. Which it's just nice. It kind of sets up how we're going to move on from one plot to another. From the Raditz thing to ultimately the Saiyan fight that leads so many people, so many casualties, so many just changes, continues to change just
Real
the scope
death.
of Dragon Ball.
Real deaths.
Real deaths coming. But you know what? I loved watching these first few episodes. I haven't seen them in quite some time. I think I've only seen the Kai version, and that was probably like 5 years ago. So I haven't seen these in a long time. In terms of the next episode of what we're watching, you could call it filler. Because there's so much it's preparing, it's training, but I think a lot of it is going to be more the development of Gohan and the development of Piccolo.
The long development of Gohan, dude. Oh my gosh.
And Snake Way, and what that eventually leads to, which is training.
Remember those Snake Way episodes? It's so hard to get through.
One where he falls off and ends up in hell.
Even one like
the one with the seductive snake lady.
Yes.
The one, he's run on Snake Way for a while. It takes him much quicker to get back than it is to get there. Rightfully so. With that said, I mean, this is episode 44 of The Lookout. We finish our first one. We're officially back. So make sure you stay tuned and stay subscribed and stay ready. And make sure to have your, if you enjoy our merch, which is going to come out on Friday, please support. And buy it. We'd love to see you guys in it. We'd like to see if you guys enjoy it. We'd like to see what the people think about it, because we've been working on this for a long time. In terms of just the journey of finding a designer, which was good. I have to shout out the designer. So the designer is, you can find him on Instagram, and we held this close to the chest because we felt like we found out, like, we really got like a great secret.
Yeah.
One of the best kept secrets in terms of just design and these abstract designs, and a black, artist who makes all these cool, designs and stuff like that.
Love it. Gotta respect it. Gotta support it.
But you can follow him at Mom Got Chicken on Instagram. Trust me, it's hilarious, but he makes this incredible abstract art, and we love it and we support it. And, we just wanted to continue it moving forward. It's really, really good. Make sure you just, stay tuned, stay ready, stay subscribed, stay, ready for the drop on Friday. And yeah, the A show, man. I mean, the A show, the Lookout.
Oh my gosh.
See? God, it's so.
We are back, though.
We are back.
We are
the
back.
Lookout is back.
It'll take some time. It's been a long time. It really has. We've been waiting. We could have sworn Super was going to be back. So you got to excuse Mills for this. You're already in A show mode. And that I mean, respect.
I'm always in A show mode. I'm always in A show mode. Fans of Mount Silver, if you were looking for our eventual review on Sword and Shield, it's coming. It's coming soon. Yeah. So stay ready for that as well. But until then, we'll see you guys in episode 45, where we'll be talking a whole bunch of, the stuff that we Gohan, Piccolo, all these other things. This is Saiyan Saga. So yeah, just, join us for the ride. Meet us at the Lookout, all the other cool stuff like that. We'll see you guys next week. Take care.